Patriot Store family. So I planned on going live from this thing today, but this GoPro's, like I said in my videos earlier, it's a big piece of shit. It's not compatible with my fucking $1,200 fucking Galaxy phone very much. So, fuck it. Every time I pull up tips and hints on it, it takes me to an iPhone example. So I think GoPro is more built around iPhone. But I got to go live like this until I'm taking this back tomorrow. And I got another one. I got two of these. So I'm taking the 12 and the 13 back tomorrow. I'm going to get my $1,000 back. And I'm just going to get a $99 camera that'll do 20 times more than those will. So bear with me today. I needed that camera because I don't have a good angle for this. But we're about to be making up the signs. Doing back on these poster boards for Charlie Kirk's remembrance tomorrow, and we'll be out there all day from about 8 o'clock in the morning until I just can't take it anymore. It's pretty rough driving through town today, man. We got a lot of wackos out here because I've got hashtag here. I'll walk out here even though it's raining. I'll take you and show you what I did today. I was driving in town after I did my truck up. So we got hashtag remember Charlie Kirk here. We got we are all Charlie Kirk with the bloody handprints. Hashtag remember Charlie Kirk on the back. And then on this window right here, we took the proud white man off and did the whole window with we are all Charlie Kirk. So I just took a little ride around town today, and I put my speaker on top of my truck, you know, just to offend some liberals. I got attacked twice in the Target parking lot by people flicking me off and gleefully cheering that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And that didn't go well. So that's why I was making the video earlier about the cops probably going to be coming after me, but they never did. So just understand, be safe out here. If you're doing anything and you are having any Patriot stuff on your truck right now, it's crazy out here right now. Our biggest death in America in my lifetime just happened, and one of the most important figures in our country assassinated. But then the very next day, in Dallas, Texas, a man got his head cut off in the middle of the street with a knife. A dude cut his head off and just walked down the street with this dude's blood all over him. And then you had the naval school shooting yesterday. A bunch of people got hurt there. And then nobody's talking about in Tampa, Florida, 2 people injured, 5 killed at a shooting down there. So this is escalating. These people are emboldened. They're out here in the streets screaming at us and making fun of us right now. And we're being told to sit back, be peaceful, and just deal with it. Yeah, I'm not okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm not okay with that. That's why I got all the stuff on the truck. We're fixing to start making up the signs in a moment here. I got 3 nice poster boards for tomorrow. We're going to do front and back. I'm going to do an all-day remembrance at Murdoch in front of Burger King in Port Charlotte, Florida. I will be out there all day. Whether you're for me or against me, come show some support for either side. You know what I mean? All I can say is, if you come up and you get violent with people, this isn't like it was last month or the month before. Just don't do that, because we're going to put you down on the street like the animal you are. We're not going to allow you to get in our space. We're just going to assume you're trying to kill us if you're a blue-haired freak. Because there might be quite a few people out there tomorrow. I've already had a bunch of people RSVP on Facebook. And while we're out there, I already look in town, so people will just start stopping and, you know, showing their support. So yeah, hopefully I'm getting a camera in the morning because, like I said, GoPro 12 and the GoPro 13 are fucking garbage for live streaming. They say they're good for it, and I got the 12 Creator Edition, but every time I try to go live through my hotspot, it doesn't let me. I've spent 7 hours today trying to figure that shit out. spent $400 in apps and fucking accessories to go live, and it won't do it. So I'm going to go get my $1,000 back and get a $99 camera that'll do 25 times what these will. So we're going to be doing these up with, where did I put them? These big acrylic markers so they're permanent. And I'm going to build a cross this weekend, a big, massive, like 30-foot cross. And we're going to put an inscription for Charlie Kirk on it. And I'm going to get permission to plant that thing out on the side of the highway here. So that's an idea for everybody to do to show their support. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some crosses on the highways for Charlie Kirk. I think he deserves at least that from us. You know, if you could show up to show your support tomorrow, it'd be wonderful. You know, it would be astounding. I'll do what I can to grab a couple cases of water for people that show up. I'll have some water. I'm supplying a few signs. I'll probably pick up some American flags so people can wave some American flags and stuff like that. I don't have the money to provide food at this rally. Maybe the next one that I throw, I can, but we're going to be doing this every weekend from here on out. Every single weekend from here on out, guys. We're going to be getting out here. We're going to be letting people, I'm going to do it every day. You know that. But for the people that want to show up and show support, we'll be doing the Murdoch Circle Burger King every weekend because that's where the wacko liberals show up, 2,000 strong. And I'm usually just, you've seen my lives, I'm usually just out there by myself and people will start stopping in. But they always outnumber me over there. So come on, Port Charlotte. Show these liberals what the fuck we're about. You know what I mean? Show them what this county is really about because these people think they won. You understand that, right? These people think they have won. We just made a martyr. This kid's got a GoFundMe that just fucking assassinated our Martin Luther King on our side. Just assassinated like our top figure of the country. This kid's raising hundreds of thousands of dollars off of that from these fucking evil people. They're in the streets cheering. The whole purpose of me wanting to go live on this camera for you right now is so we can go live. I want to take y'all to Blue Sky. For those of y'all that don't have Blue Sky, I want to take you. I downloaded it last night to see what all the bullshit was about. Holy fuck, man. It is absolute insanity what these people are saying and doing. They're gleefully cheering. They're showing, they've got a cartoon going around on Blue Sky right now of Charlie Kirk with a hole through his neck, and it says, debate this. You know what I mean? Another lady's got a thing going around right now that says, you want freedom of speech, you want to talk, then you'll die. So it's like I've told you the whole time. They want us dead. They want us fucking dead. And we're being told by Big Daddy government, who we now know cannot protect us even under this administration. I'll be the first one to admit I was wrong, man. I still back my president, but holy fuck, this weak shit that's going on right now, bro. Are you kidding me? You know how we could have avoided this? From day one, we deemed this trans extreme ideology in Antifa a terrorist fucking organization. How about that? Because we absolutely know this was an organized situation. The kid was fucking posting while he was running the whole time. He was talking to people on Discord, bro. He was saying, hey, my gun's here. Go get it. What the fuck? And it took them that long. They couldn't track him down through the fucking Discord. They can track my ass down. And I didn't even go to January 6th. They tracked me down 4 motherfucking months later at a fucking customer's house when I was working. The FBI came up after me. Said they got me through Facebook and facial recognition. But you can't find this kid because he had some sunglasses on? This shit's weird, bro. The way this happened is fucking weird. The way they carried him to the SUV, the way that no medical anything was administered at all on the scene, that's fucking insane, bro. That's insane. That event was thousands of people. It's the law. You have to have some kind of EMS at an event like that. That's the law. There's supposed to be an ambulance there. When have you ever gone to an event more than 100 people that doesn't have an ambulance present? Think about it. Even these leftists, when they get together in mass numbers, think about it. There's always an ambulance on either fucking corner in case somebody gets hurt. You go to a fair, there's always an ambulance sitting out front in case somebody gets hurt. This is fucking crazy what's going on. Okay, I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on for you right now. Hold on, let me get it on. Let me put my tinfoil hat on about fucking Israel and all this other stuff. I'm not saying Israel said, hey, go kill that fucking guy. What I am saying is TikTok, the mainstream media, massive social media personalities like Hassan Piker, and what's the gay kid that always gets beat by Andrew Wilson and Tim Pool? Destiny, that kid. All of these people cheering this shit on and pushing it this whole time. These people are terrorists. They're terrorists. They say, oh, people, if you're cheering that we're getting killed and you're happy with that, you're evil. Okay, you're a demon. And our job as good patriots, American citizens, and Christians is to fight demons and not tolerate evil. Okay, I'm not saying go out and get fucking violent. I'm saying, though, you can no longer tolerate when these blue-haired, pink-haired fucking wackos get in your face and think they can just do whatever the fuck they want. You got to knock them the fuck out. On the spot. No questions asked. This is the problem we have in America. We don't have law enforcement that works for our side because they know we can handle ourselves. Therefore, they say, we'll live in fear over here as fucking tyrants. It will violate your constitutional rights for 6 fucking years. And we'll do investigations on you for being parents or for being a patriot that speaks for parents or for going after fucking pedophiles because it's not on their communist agenda. So you're going to push their beliefs on us because you fear that they're going to come after you when they're already fucking coming after us. So would you rather back us, the ones that actually know what the fuck's going on and can defend ourselves and handle ourselves? Or this is far beyond pray for them, Paul Reed. This is far beyond pray for them. They're killing us in the fucking streets every single day. Pray for them. Pray for them because they're killing us in the streets. Pray for them. Read Revelation. There's no pray for them in fucking Revelation, and that's where we're at right now. The whole puppies and kittens part of the Bible is gone. You understand that, right? This I have against you. You tolerate the Jezebel spirit, and you allow them to lead my children into sexual immoralities and depravities. This I hate about you. You tolerate Satan's spirit. Revelation. Okay? That's Jesus speaking to us. This I have against you. You tolerate. Calm down, people, when it comes to tolerance and prosperity preaching. Do you know that tolerance is a quick way to hell? Tolerating evil as a Christian, letting demons kill. This, Charlie was, you know what? We need to officially put Charlie in the books as a saint because he was. He was the nicest person in the world. Saint Charlie. Hashtag Saint Charlie, everybody. We got to make that fucking huge. Hashtag Saint Charlie. We got to make it huge everywhere. And before you say, oh, well, you're a hypocrite. I am a hypocrite. I'm a downright sin and sorry, evil piece of fucking shit every day of my life. And I have to beg for forgiveness every single day. I have to beg all day when I do stuff. Lord, please forgive me. I know there's no forgiveness for some of the things. I get that. I'm willing to sacrifice my eternal reward so you can have yours. How about that? Let's put it that way. I'm willing to go so far to put myself in danger for you. Okay, so I'll let these people target me. I'll let these people calm down. I read a thing at the same time I said something. I'll let these people come down on me like they have. Calm down. When you've been shot and you've had your RV burned down while you're inside it and you've had your Trump store caught on fire and you've had your truck wrecked up and you've had your dog attacked and you've had your family ran out of your life because people threaten to kill and blow their shit up, then you can tell me to fucking calm down when you're calm after all that happens. Never once have I asked any of my followers for anything, ever. Through all the time I've been in all this stuff, every single thing I've done for you guys has come out of my pocket. I worked my ass off to do this stuff, to be able to get out here and stand up for people. I don't remember to pick my camera up every time because I would rather take action than fucking video record shit. So I apologize for that. That's why I bought the 2 cameras, so we can get out here and actually have a dedicated camera that's running while shit's going on. Because I'm not that person that the first thing I think of is to get my camera, you know? So I'm starting to change that. I've been doing a lot of searching in myself. You know, for the past 2.5 days, I've been fucked up, man. This has really fucked me up. You know, I go to look in my WhatsApp to see a message from Charlie, and it's not there. You know, I'm not saying he was my best friend, but I have met the man. I only met him once, but there wasn't a day that went by that he didn't send me a positive affirmation or some kind of prayer. There wasn't a day that went by that he didn't at least take the 2 minutes to send me a message to make sure I was okay, because he knew what was happening to me out here. So before y'all start talking shit about a man that did more, he never said no. He never said no to anybody, ever. Ever. When I was at his event, when he was down here in Florida, when I met him, every single person that went in line asked him for something, and he said yes to every single person. He didn't. Every single person that said, hey, will you let me get an interview with you after this? He did it. Every single person that said, hey, can I come on your show? Can we do this? Can you help me with this? He did it. Okay, I've never met anyone in my life that actually practiced 100% what they preached when it came to Christianity. Okay. And that blew my mind, man. That blew my mind about Charlie Kirk. When it came down to it, he was a genius at business. But when it came down to it, that was because he was a genius when it came to loving God. You know? So his entire aspect of life came down to the fact that he was genuinely a good steward of Christ. He was genuinely one of the best of us. You know what I mean? That's why do you understand? He's only been doing this for a few years, and his net worth was $100 million. Do you understand that? Like he made his revenue for this year was $100 million just about. In a few years, he would have been a multi-billionaire in 20 years, in 10 years. You know what I mean? So the money aspect of it was the God aspect of it. He was blessed in everything he did simply because he loved God. He was articulate because he asked God to train his tongue and guide him. Okay? And he was such a good person, and did it for him. Do you understand that? I understand, because of my inability to hold my rage and my anger is why I'm in the situation that I'm in. I get that. That's why I don't ask for you people for things, because I understand I make my own decisions, and I'm not going to stand out here being a professional fucking victim. But when you people are outright killing other people just because you don't like that they don't agree with you, you don't like it. That's why I want to take y'all on Blue Sky with me. These people flat out say in the comments, we don't even know why we think this way. It's just they're saying to think this way. You don't know what the word Nazi means, you fucking retard. Nazi. You don't know what a Nazi is, clearly. Because if I were a Nazi, I wouldn't be here making this video for you right now, telling you I love you and don't care about anything that you think. However, I would be in the streets going after people like you if I were a Nazi. That's what Nazis do. You understand that, right? That's what the brown coats did. They would go and they would disrupt people from being able to freely speech. And when that didn't work, they started sniping people. So you people are literally doing what the Germans did. You're literally doing what the Nazis did. You're screaming, we're a fascist. That's called projection. That's right out of the Marxist dictionary. Karl Marx, I know you know who that is. It's your best friend, it's your daddy. You like to suck his fucking ball sack every night because you're fucking communists. And then you project that we're Nazis when it's what you are, because you're the ones talking about skin color, not us. You're the ones judging people based off their skin color and hiring people based off their skin color, not us. You're the ones shooting people and cyber assassins because you don't agree with their ideology, and because you can't argue with them and show facts or do anything logical or with an intelligent mind, you get violent every single time. I've posted many videos of people getting violent with me because we interacted and we spoke, and all they can do is regurgitate CNN, 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 CNN. It's like they bend over and just go CNN all over the place. You know what I mean? That's all you have. You don't know history. You've never book in your life. You know nothing about the Constitution except what you've seen on the fucking internet. Nothing about the Constitution whatsoever. You've never read one writing from the forefathers, because you would know you're actual retarded. You thought I was going to call you a Nazi, didn't you? Those words mean nothing anymore. Racist, Nazi, none of that means anything because of you people. You have literally made words not mean anything. It's crazy, you know? You people call my dog racist because she's fucking white. That's how dumb you are. Y'all have attacked my dog and called her fucking racist. Your dog's racist too because she's white. What's wrong with you people? I mean, it's like, I'm a Canadian. I don't care about the USA. Well, then why are you in our Discord? Why are you all up in our shit, you communists? You kill your own people instead of giving them medical treatment. Who gives a fuck about Canada? We could take your country in about 2 seconds with about 50 of our fucking American citizens, bro. You're the weakest fucking sauce on the planet, my friend. You fucking like to suck on China's ball sack. We see you sneaking China around the other side over there. You think we don't see that? We see that on the satellite. There's a difference between being a lunatic and finally being fed up. When you've gone to work and you've paid your taxes every day your entire life, and then all of a sudden a bunch of weird fucking retards that cut their dick and balls off and fucking scoop their vaginas out and fucking sew a plastic penis to it, call themselves another sex, which doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. I'm not saying you don't exist. You're a fucking human being, but your mental condition that is like schizophrenia combined with go fuck yourself in your brain has just told you that whatever the sheep in the herd, the sheeple of the people that follow, and that's what y'all do, you follow each other. I'm out here by myself standing against 2,800 of you. You won't do that. When I got these big rallies, man, y'all motherfuckers don't come out and stand against us because you're pussies. You believe the Communist Manifesto, correct? The Comrade Fist. As one we are weak, together we are strong. You can't do anything by yourselves. You don't have a free thinking mind at all. What do trans people have to do with my paycheck or life? Well, when I have to look over my shoulder every second of every day and I have to clear my entire house and yard when I come home because I'm worried a trans Tifa fucking wacko might be around the corner to shoot me, that affects everything in my life. Or when they go in and they get a job and they sue the fuck out of the place so they won't hire people anymore because they're self-entitled little bitches, and when the first thing doesn't go their way, they say, sexual harassment, I'm suing you. And that's what all of you do, every one of you. None of you can hold a job for more than fucking 2 weeks, and then the moment they fire you, discrimination, I'm gonna fucking sue you. Or when you get in there, well, I don't like the way you're doing this. This is how your business should run. That's how you affect the economy, and that's how you affect businesses. I don't believe in professional. I'm going to have a dildo going through my fucking nose, and my hair is going to be all out like this, and it's going to be multicolors. That's how you affect our economy. That's how you affect our businesses. We have no more professionality. I remember when you couldn't get a job if you had a mustache. You had to be clean shaven. You had to wear a button-up shirt. You had to tuck your fucking shirt in. You had to wear a belt. You had to have nice, clean black shoes, or you couldn't get a job. Now, you bitch, because you can't get a job when you got fucking, your whole face is metal, bro. And you literally have like little dildos hanging out of your lip while you're at your fucking interview. Well, I can't get a job. Why is that? Because you're fucking retarded. That's why. And it's not because they're ill. They're not mentally ill. They've been told that this is what they are. None of these trans people are trans because it was their fucking idea. I guarantee you that. I promise you that. Not one of you motherfuckers were born and said, oh, I'm fucking trans. I think I can cut my dick off, and there it goes. None of you. You were all told you were trans by somebody else that brainwashed you and brought the propaganda and all the gaslighting and all the bullshit to you and said, hey, let me shove this Pfizer-encrusted dildo up your ass. It's going to be painful, and I'm going to make you hate yourself for the rest of your life. So you're going to go out and kill other people because you hate yourself, and you're going to be miserable forever, and you're going to make everybody else miserable, but you're going to love it. You know, and that's literally the ideology you have. That's literally how you people act. You know, you're so fucking miserable because you're miserable that you have to make everybody else fucking miserable. And it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Hashtag Saint Kirk. Hashtag Saint Charlie Kirk. Don't forget that, guys. Sorry, the comments aren't running. Report him now. Man, listen, so he'll be offline. for a month. Report me so I'll be offline. Oh no, I don't give a fuck. Report me. I don't give a fuck. This will be my 79th fucking YouTube channel. I don't give a fuck. I'll go to Rumble. I don't care. Report to me. Oh, you liberals are just goofy as fuck. I'll debate any one of you anytime you want to. I'll go live with you right the fuck now. Anytime, I'll go live with you right now. If you look at the progression and you go through all my social media channels and you just Google Berserker Patriot Store and you see how many followers and how many views I used to get, I was one of the first people to have one of the biggest channels, bro. And then cancel culture kicked in. I had fucking 4.8 million followers on YouTube before I got banned because people reported me. And I was fucking reporting on the Hunter Biden laptop and the COVID bullshit. So fuck you. I've made fucking so much money off of YouTube, I don't give a fuck if I ever get back in the algorithm, bro. I'm posting remembrance today and they're getting 3 views. The Charlie Kirk hashtag, regardless, should get hundreds of thousands of views right off the bat. So YouTube doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Facebook doesn't matter. Instagram doesn't matter. None of this matters. I don't do this for money. Otherwise, I'd have super chats on right now. You know what I mean? If I did this for money, I'd have super chats. Or we're getting banned for a month. I'll go make another fucking channel and do the same goddamn thing. What the fuck do you mean you'll get me banned? I've got 17 channels in backup right now because I learned my lesson from cancel culture. You'll get me. Fucking stupid people. That's your answer, though. You don't like the truth that's coming out of my mouth, so you want to kill me and ban me. You want to take away my livelihood because you don't like what I'm saying. That's where you're not American. You're a fucking evil fucking piece of shit. We've never done that to you. Never once have I ever reported a channel. I just talk shit to you in your comments, and then you ban me from doing that. You report me every time. Every time. I try to go live with you little fucking gay-ass influencers that do your call in and this and that. Those numbers are fake. You got set up. I've called all of them. None of them ever work. They'll have a busy dial tone or a fucking... This number is low. Those are pre-done calls, and they're set up to be that way. Any of you debate me at any time. I've got the Constitution of the United States, the 19th Dictionary for Definitions and fucking law. Okay? I've got the United States Law Book series, so I have all the laws and federal laws. I'll read everything straight to you from the fact of the source itself. Nothing will come from CNN. Nothing will come from the fucking internet at all. I'll read everything to you from when there were facts in a book before you changed everything. I have an original 1988 Webster's Dictionary before you changed the definitions of fucking words a couple years ago. So I can show you what words really mean. I'm not a Marxist. I'm an American. I go off American definitions. So anytime anyone wants to debate me, Berserker Patriot Store on Telegram, send me a fucking DM on Telegram, boom, we'll get together and we'll debate. And I'll give you the facts from the source, not from any internet fucking entity. That way, there's nothing you can argue about it. And if you argue that, then you're exactly what we say, you're retarded. Because you can't even look at the actual fact of the person that invented the word itself and say, oh yes, that's really what it is. Because I've read you the definition of a woman, and the actual definition of a woman from the 1988 Webster's Dictionary is not what any of you people say it is on the internet. There's nothing in there that defines a second gender. You know what I mean? Or a third gender, or a fourth gender. It's man, woman, XXXY, XXXY, period. That's it. You know? I don't hate you. I hate the way your brain works. Okay, as a human being, I love you and I pray for you every night. I pray for anyone that has to come into contact with me. Anyone that has to come into the savageness that I've turned into. Because that's what I was saying earlier. If you've watched me from the beginning to now, I was fucking so I didn't cuss on YouTube. I followed all the rules and everything. I cared. I was trying to do the right thing. And then even though I did that, I was good. I prayed for you people. I tolerated all your bullshit. You attacked me. I didn't even fucking call the cops on you. You busted my truck up. Never called the cops on one of you. You know what I'm saying? We just dealt with it between us. I didn't make you get locked in a fucking box or nothing. But when you shot me, that's when everything fucking changed. When y'all shot me at that pro-Palestine rally in Sarasota with that 22 3 times, that changed everything. That put a lot of anger in my heart. And as I've explained, Charlie Kirk is the only reason I'm not in prison right now. Charlie Kirk's the reason I'm not on the news like you motherfuckers are. Because he's the one that sent me the prayers every day and told me, hey, you can't go stoop to their level. You know what I'm saying? You have no clue. Charlie Kirk was your people's wall between us. That's what he was. He was your fucking shield from our spears. Okay? Now that shield's not there. You've torn down our fucking barrier. You've torn down our wall that separates us from you. So now we need to deport you back to the other side of that fucking wall. That's the situation when it comes down to it. You know what I mean? So I don't think I've actually heard anyone explain it like that to you. Because of Charlie Kirk, things were getting done. He was breaking the indoctrination machine. Did you see that crowd? Did you see that fucking crowd? Man, massive. Thousands of people. None of you will ever have a crowd like that. None of you will ever build a machine like he built. He employed 500 people at 31 years old, and he didn't start doing this until a few years ago. You know, he helped everybody. So, if you're evil enough to take out St. Charlie for literally never getting mad at you and always listening to what you said, always, never cutting you off, he would sit and smile at you. Even when you interrupted him and screamed at him, you threw shit at him, you attacked him. When you were throwing the bricks at him on the college in California, he did nothing. He laughed at you and he said, I'll pray for you. I can't do that. I can't do that. The only time I can keep my cool is when there's other people around getting upset. And then for some reason, I get into protector mode and I calm the fuck down and I calm everybody else down. But other than that, man, we're how do we go forward from here? You know what I mean? As a country, honestly, how do we go forward from here? Because like I said earlier, other than the Charlie Kirk getting killed, which is not going away anytime soon, left, you're so mad right now because we're actually in our fills because one of our greatest, he was everybody's friend, no matter who you were, he was your friend. You know what I mean? He's the only person that's been on every single social media channel and never said no to anybody, you know? We don't have anybody else like that. So when y'all decide to post on Blue Sky a list of over 250 different social media personalities that are now having to cancel their livelihoods. Tim Pool is canceling all of his live shows because he has a family he has to worry about, you know? All of these social media personalities are now canceling their live shows. Charlie was the exception. When Trump got shot, what did Charlie do? He did a fucking event a couple hours later. He went out and spoke. You know what I mean? That's who Charlie was. He didn't back down from you people ever. You know how much he had to deal with of this outside of what we could see? It was way worse, I'm sure. What him and Erica and the babies had to deal with. Way worse than what we were seeing in the videos and stuff like that. And he didn't even talk about half the stuff that was, you know, before this happened. For a week, he was talking to close friends about the fact that he was worried about Israel killing him. That's not what we're saying exactly happened, but we want to understand how these situations can keep, because this was literally J13 all over again. This was handled in the exact same fashion that the assassination attempt of Donald Trump was. And that's a problem. And that's the exact thing that means the word you use right there, in the world of the flesh. You know, he genuinely had that much faith in you people. He genuinely had that much faith in this country that he went out there and put himself up like that. You know what I mean? That was almost like, if you just turn the view, that was almost a Donald Trump assassination attempt. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, the only one that's a higher personality than Charlie Kirk would be Donald Trump. But you can't even compare the two. In my opinion, you know, I mean, obviously, you know that I'm a Trump supporter. Obviously, everybody knows that. But Charlie Kirk had a much different presence, and he could draw crowds like, for 31 years old, he could draw crowds like no other, you know? We need that in this day and age in 2025. We need someone out here bringing the kids to the reality of what the world is. They need to pay taxes. They need to run the country, because Gen Z can't run the country. Gen Alpha definitely can't run the country. They only got 13 million in their entire fucking population. In retrospect, we have 158 million in our population. They have 78 million in the population after me. Gen Z drops down to 28 million. They aborted 10% of their entire population. Fucking Gen Alpha drops down to 13 million in their population, and they're not having kids. So literally there won't be a country in 25 years if we don't turn this around. And that's what Charlie did the best. And he did it through Christ. He didn't do it through politics or any of this. Even when he did politics, he did it through Christ. When he did everything he did, it was about God. When anyone asked him any question about what his life was about, he said it was God, you know? So when you threaten to kill him, he prayed for you. That makes you so mad. That makes you so angry. Yes, no, 28% of Gen Z was aborted. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And Gen Alpha's worse. Gen Alpha's way worse. Their generation just went up recently. That's the smallest population of a generation we've ever had in American history, bro. Even when we didn't have all this population, like we're back to the settlers again with 13 million people. Because you got to understand, by the time Gen Alpha is here, it's going to be Gen Z that's in the situation I'm in, that's climbing the power poles to keep the fucking power on, bro. I'm going to be told to do that. My old rickety knees aren't going to get up this power pole to keep your power on. We ain't got no robots to climb that fucking and keep it on for you. Who's gonna pump the oil? You know what I mean? Your whole life runs off oil. Y'all hate it, but everything you have. If you hate oil so much, get rid of your cell phone, get rid of your toilet paper, get rid of your cars, get rid of everything. Because everything's made out of petroleum. You know, so it is this. We've got. I can't even think of anybody that could get out here and do what he was doing. You know, Matt Walsh is a good guy, but he's got a completely different type of presence. You know, but I know Matt and Charlie were really, really good friends. So we just got to get out here, and we got to speak, and we have to let everybody know that, yeah, Ezekiel's over. It's gone. It's done right now. I'm reading Revelation. I'm in Revelation. We're in Revelation right now. We're in the end of the Bible right now, guys. Okay. Jesus said when he came, I'm taking the old law of God and changing it to the new, which is me. Okay, and then he gave the revelation of Christ to be the end of the Bible. The Bible goes in sections, okay? The Bible is history. We are in the revelation history of the Bible right now. All of you tend to forget to read Revelation because it's not an easy read, I'll give it to you. It's the best, like people like fantasy novels. I mean, it's got everything in it from Nephilim to freaking demons to 20-headed angels and stuff, bro. So kids, if you like comic books and stuff like that, get you an action Bible, and I'm telling you, it'll be the best read you ever had, Revelation. I've had 3 monsters tonight. I've been trying to get this event ready all day. I've been out driving around, getting the people out to where it was going to go. I'm getting the signs made up. I got the 3 signs left to do. I'm getting ready, it's probably Sunday, to make up a bunch of shirts. And once my verification code comes back in now that I'm remonetized on everything and allowed back on all social media. And that's why I laughed when they said they were going to get me banned, because I literally just ended my lawsuit with Google and YouTube a week ago and him just back allowed on. I highly doubt they're going to want to go through another fucking lawsuit that quick just because I'm talking fact and truth. You notice they don't really ban us anymore. You know what I mean? You can pretty much say what you want on YouTube now because they can see what's going on and they see how crazy these people are. And they're actually banning liberals on YouTube now because they're nuts and they're threatening to fucking kill people. You know, that's why they all went over to Blue Sky. So, you know, there's a bunch of Republicans with made up Blue Sky accounts out there, liberals, that are on there watching everything y'all do and fucking screenshotting and recording that shit. So don't think anything you erase on there is going away. And there are specific groups of people that are on there watching everything y'all do and say. And we are putting together a collaboration of how crazy you fucking people are. You'll see the actual demons manifest when I finish editing this video that I just did on Blue Sky last night. You will actually see the demons manifest from people taking their clothes off and getting naked and cheering in the streets, and demonic cheering, like screaming, and I mean just crazy shit, bro. With their hair all done up weird and these fucking masks and shit on, to just liberals getting in the streets looking like their dad fucked their sister and fucking dancing around and celebrating in the streets. You know what I mean? And it's funny because all of you to get mad at me, you literally look like your dad fucked your sister, bro. So you got to stop being mad at yourself, and then you'll stop being mad at us. The moment you stop hating yourself and understand that you can go work out and look better and feel better, and you can take all that shit out of your face, and you don't have an extra pound pulling your fucking brain down, okay? And you might be able to think a little better. You can put some better food in your gut, because what goes in your gut is what your brain does. Okay, so stop eating the fucking flaming hot Cheetos that they've proven can eat the paint off a fucking car. Stop drinking. Well, that'd make me a hypocrite, wouldn't it? Because I'm drinking one right now. I'm 43 years old and I got a tumor in my brain and a fucking tumor in my lungs. So I'm done for. So don't do what I do. Just do what I say, like our parents used to say. Don't drink the Monster. You remember the whole Mountain Dew thing? They had a lawsuit against Mountain Dew because they found a rat in the fucking can, and they lost the lawsuit because Mountain Dew proved that the rat would have dissolved completely and there would be no trace of it in the can of Mountain Dew in the time it was on the dock to the time it went to the shelf. So yeah, drink that Mountain Dew, right? Dissolved rats. Fuck yeah, man. Just think when we were kids, Gen X, how many fucking dissolved rats we drank, because that's all we drink in fucking Gen X, bro. Fucking Mountain Dew and Pepsi all the time. We never drink water. If we drank water, it came out of the fucking water hose, and that's because we were outside and we were hot and our parents wouldn't let us come in the house. So I miss those days. I miss the days where you actually had to read a book to do something and you didn't get stuck in the doom scrolling, because we all do it. We all talk shit about it, but we all fucking do it. We're all hypocrites, every one of us. We're all pieces of shit. Every one of us. We all think horrible thoughts in our head and don't want to admit it to people. Every freaking one of us. We all need to get on our knees every single day and beg Jesus Christ for forgiveness. Because that's the only way. You know what I mean? See, nothing you could say about me can offend me, because you can't talk about me the way I can, liberals. That's why I'm a little bit unique when it comes to this situation. You can't insult me any more than I can insult myself. Because I know exactly what you're going through, because I was a fucking teenager, man. You know, and I just have to have this, I happen to have this special ability that when I got my fucking brain injury, that part that makes you not say stuff, I don't have that. They literally cut it out of my fucking head. I've shown you all that. So I just have to say what I'm thinking. I have to say what's on my mind, no matter what. So we are what we are. We're human beings. We're supposed to be able to agree to disagree. We don't have to fight about things. We don't have to kill each other. We don't have to get out here and just be violent 24/7 and constantly go on social media. Social media is the downfall of this country. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to have access to all information at all times like this. We're not supposed to. Our brain is sensory designed. We're supposed to walk around and look up. That's why everybody has a fucking hunchback now. Every kid you see has a fucking hunchback, a hump in their back, because they're always looking down. They're never fucking looking up, man. You know, the most unaware country we've ever had in the history of America. Everybody's looking at a screen. They'll be sitting right directly next to each other and texting each other instead of talking. That's the problem. These kids grew up with cell phones and they didn't learn how to talk to people. That's the problem. That is how we fix our country. Stop giving your children fucking phones. Stop letting your kids hang out with kids that have tablets and phones. If they want to play a fucking Xbox, cool, bro. But don't constantly let your kids fucking do this, because then their brain constantly fucking does this and it can't sit still because everything's a 1 second gratification. It's dopamine hit, dopamine hit, dopamine hit. Oh, that's too much. I can't watch a full movie. Boom. No kids can sit down. That's why we don't have movie theaters, because no kids can go sit down and watch a full fucking movie because they're not getting that dopamine hit, because every movie you have is an unoriginal idea in 2025. You're copying my generation on every single thing you do. You're remaking everything we had, and you're doing it really badly. So before we had all this CGI shit you kids use, when you went to the theater, that shit would punch you in the face, bro. Like that music, that shit would just punch you in the face. And that was your permanent dopamine hit for the month. You know what I mean? We didn't go to movies every day. We'd go to the mall and hang out at the movie theater on the weekends. And we'd sneak in with our friends and watch free movies through the back fucking door. That's what we did in the fucking 80s and 90s, bro. We were always out somewhere, getting hurt, getting scraped, reading books, talking to each other, hanging out with each other. Human fucking interaction is what we need. And that's what Charlie Kirk knew. That's what Charlie Kirk did. That's all he did. Human interaction. He brought humans back to human beings and got them out of fucking cell phones. I want you to watch a Charlie Kirk event, and I want you to tell me how many kids you see staring at their phone or how many kids you see looking at him talking. Every one of those kids are watching him talk and recording him doing it. They're not scrolling through their fucking phone. They're watching Charlie Kirk the whole time. You can't get kids to watch anything. His events are 2, 3, 4 hours long sometimes, man. And these kids would sit and they would just focus directly on him, nothing else. That's amazing. I couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. You know what I mean? We can't get these kids out of these fucking cell phones. We try. Even in our own homes, we can't get them out of the cell phones. When I was taking care of my nieces and nephews the past 3.5 years, before y'all started all this stuff, they didn't have cell phones. My 11-year-old nephew can slaughter a chicken, a hog, and he can bull tie a bull. He can hog tie a small calf. So he can build a fire. He can split wood. You know, I've posted videos of my 6-year-old nephew splitting wood with me. 6-year-old nephew splitting wood with me. Get out here with your kids if you're a parent. Get out here. Charlie, use its brain. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, man. So if we can get back to understanding that that's what Charlie did, was he was saving the kids. You know what I mean? He was saving the next generation to go on to build a great America, to keep America running smoothly. Because if we only have kids that don't want to work and they want everything given to them for free, then this is what you get. You get permanent military on the streets in your cities. Because the moment they leave, these people continue to vote this way. All these cities are still voting this way. That's why I don't understand why we're sending the National Guard in. This is pointless. This is the dumb. J.D. Vance's influence on Donald Trump is fucking insane and horrible. You know what I mean? I don't like it. And he's going to try to run for president. Fuck that motherfucker. What a liar. You know, he changed his name 3 times. He didn't become J.D. Vance until like 10 years ago when he got married to his wife. His entire book is fiction. He's not a hillbilly. He didn't grow up as a hillbilly. He grew up in the fucking suburbs with a subpar regular family. It's all a lie. I posted a whole expose on it, a whole documentary on it somewhere on the channel. You can go find it. It's fucking crazy, man. People tend to forget. He called us maggot terrorists for 4 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just, we've got nobody after this. We thought in a few years Charlie would be running for office. He always said he wasn't going to, but for 28 years, Trump said he wasn't going to run for president. And people kept asking him to. Well, the same things, it's literally like, I keep comparing things to Trump because, like, Charlie was the new Trump. You know what I mean? In my opinion, he was the new America First movement. He was our number 2 in the country. Nobody else was a higher influence than Charlie Kirk. So he was very articulate. He knew the laws. He wasn't sitting there with a script like everybody else is. He knew this stuff. It was in his head. He prayed to God every day, and he asked for discernment and understanding and intelligence to be able to articulate it to people. Charlie wasn't just born this way. Charlie was born, and God knew he was going to be a saint, so he blessed to be this way, okay? That's what people have to understand. This is why we're so upset about this, okay? There's not been another human being like him. The things he was going to go through to do for this country, nobody else is going to do. You know, we don't have anybody else that's going to be. He's like a once in 1,000 years kind of person. You know, once in 100 years kind of person. He was bringing people together. Did you see how many of these leftists would literally, you could see them when they were talking to him like, oh, I was wrong. You know, you could see it. Just bing, a light turn on in their heads a lot of times when they were talking to him. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying, but there were some that absolutely let him pray for them. You know how many Democrats are going to church right now because of Charlie Kirk and are no longer angry at themselves and no longer hateful? Get out and give your stories right now. Stories, the ones that you were on the other side. You know what I mean? I was already a Republican when I started talking to Charlie. So that's not impressive. You guys were actually full blown in there, wanted him dead, and now you're praying with him and working with him. Give your stories out here. That would be a wonderful tribute to Charlie Kirk. You know, and if I'm offending the family at all, Erica, please send me a message on WhatsApp at Original Charlie Kirk on his thing and tell me, honey, and out of respect for you and the kids, I won't say anything. You know, I love you guys. Anything Charlie's family needs, they're going to have for the rest of their lives. Okay? That's the wife of it. She is to be protected. That's what we need to be doing right now, is everybody else. Steven Crowder, Timmy, fucking Tim Pool, fucking all of them. We need to be getting them when they're doing their events. You should bring a drone to their event and fly it over the event and check the fucking buildings, bro. How about that? How about your security team has a couple fucking drones that they fly over roofs and say, oh, hey, look, there's a guy on the fucking roof. Let's kill him. Let's get him. You know? He's pointing a gun at us. Let's shoot him. How about we do that? This is insane how in both of these situations, literally, it's 200 yards, bro. That's nothing. That's nothing. You ain't even got to aim well to shoot from 200 yards. You know what I mean? You zero in at 150, 200. That's a good zero. So you can go from long to short, you know, 25 to 100 or 50 to 200. That's a great zero on a gun. And it was a 30-06. That's one of the, man, that's, I'm killing you. It's a 30-06. You understand? That's where you take down elk with a 30-06, bro. So y'all are saying the hunting rifles are what we should have, right? Because the hunting rifles make body armor look like fucking Play-Doh. A 30-06 make most body armor look like fucking Play-Doh. It makes a fucking 7.62 look like a fucking toy. You know what I mean? That is a massive rifle. And the fact that he got up that roof with the cops there, with an event like that, there has to be law enforcement. The fact that he got on that roof, he was able to stay on that roof after what happened with Donald Trump and after what happened with Steven Crowder and a few other people. Same exact situations. Why was somebody not looking on the roof is what I want to know. What I want to know is why are the same federal agents that traffic children into our country and deemed us terrorists for the past 4.5 years the ones that are handling this right now? You think we trust these people when they're telling us what they're telling us on the internet? When we've heard Charlie talk about what's going on numerous times in the past 3 to 4 months about what's going on with him and other factions and the death threats he was getting and stuff like that. I'm confused about this entire situation. Big conspiracy. It is a big conspiracy. And if you think it's not, then it's crazy that every time we have someone that talks about certain subjects, something happens. You know what I mean? Every single time. And it's always about the same certain subjects. These people are trying to kill us. You know what I mean? Anyone that thinks like Charlie does, all of us. That's what We Are All Charlie Kirk is about. You do understand that, right? It's not Fight Club. His name was Paulson, you know. It's not Fight Club. His name was Charlie Kirk. We're saying we're all Charlie Kirk because they can get to Charlie. There's nobody there's nobody that they can't get to. If they can get to Trump and Charlie, they can get to any of us because they're cowards about it. At least come to our face, man. At least actually have combat with us and be fair about it. But you can't do that because you don't get out. You know, if you work out, you'll change your mind because the men will start getting testosterone and nuts will actually drop and they won't think the same way. If you start working out and start reading about the wars, you'll turn into a Republican real quick. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. It's an iffy situation, guys. I look like a scarecrow. Is that what you just said? Hold on, buddy. Let me I look like a scarecrow, bro? Seriously? Come on, man. Let me change that. Your mind on that. Oh, whoops. Let me change your mind on that. A scarecrow, dude. I'm 43 years old, buddy. I weigh 185 pounds. I ain't no scarecrow. You will pray to look like I do at 43 years old, my friend. Pray to look like I do at 43 years old, I promise. People that say I look like a scarecrow probably weigh about 140 pounds, and you can't even lift do a pull-up. You can't even do one pull-up, I bet. That's the problem we have. When you start insulting me, I know that you know I'm telling the truth. Any of you that just insult me and you can't argue with me, and you can't do anything that is intellectual and all you can do is insult me, I don't take any offense to you, man. But I will get stupid with you and I'll flex off with you and I'll talk shit to you, bro. Because how can this be fun for me if I can't have fun fucking talking shit to my trolls? My trolls are my best subscribers. You know what I mean? My trolls make me more money than any of my subscribers do. Because you guys like obsess over me, man. I'll post some more of the phone calls I've been getting today. I've got over 1,000 private fucking scroll throughs in my recents. They call me and they threaten to kill me all the time. Have been for 7 years since I opened the Trump store and started doing this. That's all y'all do is think about me. That's it. I live rent free in your mind. And I'm nobody. I'm nothing. I've only got 3,000 followers now. I love my 3,000 followers. I love you. I gained 123 followers on my live the other day. You know? But it's just to the point where there's no way that our country can go forward like this. It's not possible for our country to go forward like this. I mean, we got neighbors that are old that are now locking themselves in their homes and ordering food after this happened. They say they're not going to come outside anymore. You know what I mean? Especially after the shooting happened in Tampa yesterday. You know, Charlie happened, and then all of a sudden there's been like 7 or 8 attacks in different parts around Florida, you know? So they've got, you know, the liberals have another nationwide big rally coming up, right? To oppose Charlie Kirk's, to brag and laugh about Charlie Kirk's death. So every one of us need to get rallies going in our communities right now. We need to show them we are the majority of this country. This is the problem we have. They get out here in mass numbers and you sit in your fucking house and hide and suck your thumb and say, I don't want to put my family in danger. But by sitting in your house and sucking your thumb, you're putting your family in danger because they're becoming more emboldened. We could have stopped all of this if you would have just listened to people like me in 2016 when all this bullshit really started. You know what I mean? Because our country didn't actually jet forward like this until Biden got into office. You know what I mean? We were leading up to some shit, but when Biden got into office and the whole administration behind him was able to do whatever the fuck they want because his applesauce kid sniffing brain didn't know what the fuck was going on, and they were just auto pinning everything and doing all this shit and letting all this stuff happening. You know, I really did hate Biden. And then it dawned on me when he got out of office. He genuinely didn't fucking know anything that was going on. He genuinely was so senile. He had no clue what the fuck. I don't even think he knew he was the president, honestly. I think they had to tell him every day that he was the president. That's why he kept saying Donald Trump when he was up on stage. I'm high as fuck. I don't do drugs. I don't even drink alcohol. I got a couple monsters in there. I've been pounding monsters, and I'm extremely ADD. But no, I don't touch drugs, bro. I got too fucked up when I was a kid, like in car wrecks and bad foster parents to want to get into that shit. I'd be dead right now if I did drugs. I do everything to the extreme. You think I talk to the extreme? Shit. I talk like this, by the way, because when I got my head injury, my ears don't work right. So I can't hear myself talking. So it always sounds like I'm screaming at you. It always sounds like I'm upset, but I'm not. I'm really actually happy all the time. That's why I'm trying to smile in the videos as much as possible, because a lot of you think that I'm yelling. I'm not yelling. I got a cheap, shitty phone now, and the stuff doesn't work well on it, and I can't hear myself talk. So that should explain that for you. And I get very excited. I'm passionate about something. Absolutely. This is the drug I'm on right now. This is the first time I've had a monster in probably 20 years. I drink my C4 every once in a while. You know, I'm out of creatine and BCAs right now, though. So lady asked me if I wanted a monster when I was at the Dollar General earlier. You know, and that's another thing I got to say. Port Charlotte, businesses, I love you guys. There's a lot of you that just support the shit out of what I do, you know. I can't remember the last time I paid for a meal in a restaurant in this town. You know. Walmart, hold on, I just saw something. Did walk. No, I'm at my work shed right now. Walmart. There ain't no Walmart anywhere near where I'm at. But this is my house right now after all the vandalism and everything. Fixing to be in that. I'm almost done with it. It's almost ready to go. And I'll be in that for a little bit. And then after I save some money up, I mean, fuck, I put out $1,300 today just in the GoPro fucking 13 and the GoPro 12 Creator Edition, and neither one of them were compatible with this piece of shit phone. So I had to call AT&T and motherfucking order a new phone. I'm getting a Galaxy S25. Once that comes in, then we'll be going live from both cameras. And I'm remonetized back on here again, so I'll get paid for ads. And then we'll get stuff back going again. You know, I got a couple houses to paint this week. I got a couple trees to cut down. I got to climb these 2 trees this week too, and the neighbor over here, and trim those up. So I mean, things are going pretty well for us right now. Ever since I calmed down a little bit from speaking at the school board meetings, because things have kind of chilled out and our school boards around here in Florida are kind of getting with the program. I've had more time to invest in selling advertisement for my business again. And that's what we're in the process of doing. This is where I come and I clean up all my shit, like my saws and my pressure washers and all my concrete stuff. You know, this is just where I come and work. So I'm using this to, yeah, I just lost a bunch of you when I stopped talking about Charlie. I love you guys. I just come in here and work. This is my work warehouse, you know, where I keep my tools and everything stays dry. Before you ask, it's because I don't stay in there because it's not part of the contract that I signed to use the building. That's why. And that would be against the rules of the building. So I crash in my truck. But instead of running my truck at night, I do have dedicated power to use here. I have a pole that the cord and everything runs to. And there we go. Got an AC unit so the dog stays nice and cold. You know, and I just throw a mat down on my back seat and fucking get some sleep for the night, and I get up and go to work, guys. It ain't no big thing, like a chicken wing. I'll tell you this, though. It's the first time I've ever been in a situation like this in 43 years of my life. And Yeah, when you get put in a situation like this, that's one thing I'll disagree on every Republican about, is America is not here to help people. Like, there's no assistance really for homelessness in the state of Florida at all. As a matter of fact, the reason I have to stay here and I don't just like stay for free on the side of the road somewhere is because you legally can't sleep in your vehicle anywhere in public in the state of Florida. Ron passed that law right after the hurricane when everybody was sleeping in their car. I sound manic? No, just a little ADD with a little TBI on top of it, if you know what a traumatic brain injury is. But I got all that going on, and boom, my IQ is still higher than most of you, huh? That's the funny part. Am I a little crazy? I don't know, maybe. What's your definition of crazy, though? Passionate? Is that what crazy is to you people? Because to me, crazy is going around and assassinating people just because of words. To me, crazy is telling me that I'm evil because of my skin color, because I'm darker than all of you. That's the funny part. You see, I'm a red man. I'm red. My skin is actually fucking red, bro. Like, you're in the place where my great-grandmother and grandmother's ancestors are from, talking about being oppressed. That's what gets to me. Because now we can get into this subject. Because I don't know if you saw, but the guy that stabbed the girl on the bus has over $275,000 and 3 different funding sites right now. And only one of them is saying they're going to pull it down. So this scumbag that outright killed this girl for no reason other than the fact she was white, because you can hear him clearly in the camera say, I got the white girl. That's how evil you people are. You encourage that and cheer that on. You know what I mean? That's why nobody gives a fuck what you say. You're literally the most pure evil on the planet. You literally cheer on people being murdered because they're white. You're racist. You're a reverse Nazi. Literally a reverse fucking Nazi. You're the most racist people there ever has been. And if you want to get right down to it, you say white people are evil. Oh, I'm so sorry that we're the only race on the planet that ever fought for you motherfuckers to have freedom, to not be slaves. Because everywhere else, you're still slaves. In Arab countries, you're still slaves. In your own countries, you're still fucking legal slaves. But not in any white countries. So I'm sorry that we're so horrible that we fought a war so you could be free. You blame white people for your slavery. Motherfucker, we were the last ones to get you. And we didn't want you, so we let you go. What does that say? You know, we were literally the last ones to get you. And when we got you, we're like, oh, fuck. Let's give them freedom so they're not around us and send them the fuck over here. So fuck you and your bullshit. Because my ancestors literally died for your people to be free. So I got no sympathy for anyone that calls me a racist for being white. I got no sympathy for any black people that play the professional victim card. Because you know that only 1.3% of America ever owned slaves. 1.3% of the fucking 13 colonies owned slaves. And 9 fucking states didn't. Only 9 states fought for freedom. You understand that, right? The rest of them were the Democrat states. It was the Republicans that fought to give you the freedom you have. It was black men that started the Republican Party to fight with other black men for freedom. We had the whole regular army of black people. Like literally, we had our own battalion of black people that fought with us to end slavery. But you want to be on the side of the Democrats who still keep you as slaves pretty much. They keep you in your areas, don't they? They don't let you spread out in the cities, do they? So you come down here to Florida, you can go wherever you want. You don't have to go to a Section 8 fucking shithole. You know what I mean? Do you realize that the places you live in the cities right now used to be some of the most beautiful parts of the cities with black people living in them? It's how your culture has progressed. Okay, because in the 40s and the 50s, black people were living good, bro. Even though we had just come out of slavery, they were wearing suits and ties. They were speaking articulately. They were starting businesses. They were getting young entrepreneurs around the entire fucking world. You know what I mean? As young black men. Then the old Democrats kicked that in the ass with the fucking welfare programs and incentivization through fucking Planned Parenthood for black women to kill their babies and get subsidized on fucking Section 8 housing and get free shit. And we saw how that worked, right? We saw how that worked. And don't get me wrong, we got white trash out here too that's on all kinds of fucking government assistance. You know, I can clearly say I'm not on any government assistance whatsoever. Never have been. Can't even qualify for it if I wanted it because I work. I bet you didn't know that. If you have a job, you can't qualify for more than like $6 or $8 a month for fucking food stamps. Unless you got like children and shit and you can't feed your kids. But if you're a single white man like me, you can't apply for any of this help. There is no help. They only help people that have children in America. You know, the help they have for people like me is we can go to a homeless coalition for the night. We have to be in by 6. We get locked in like animals. And then they kick you out at 6 in the morning and don't let you come back until 6 in the afternoon. That's the only help we have for homelessness in Florida. For single people, you know, even single women. But they have women's shelters. They don't have men's only shelters. They have women's shelters, you know. So all the Catholic charities and all the like St. Vincent de Paul's and all that around here, they only help women. Like they tell people to go there all the time for help, but they only help women. Like if you go there and you're a man, oh no, there's nothing we can do for you. You know, so stop playing the victim card out here, guys. I'm not complaining about this. I'm just telling you that's how it works. And I only know that because of the situation I'm in right now. Yeah, I looked to see if there was a way I can get a handout. You know, I guess everybody does when they lose everything, right? So if there's a way you can get a hand up, I don't know why you wouldn't take it. But there isn't one. There's 257 applications. There's no someone that, because I have a business license. You know, I have a county license and a state LLC. So when they run my information in the state of Florida, it shows that I own a business, even though I'm only, you know, working from job to job right now. As long as it shows you own a business, you can't really qualify for anything. I haven't seen a tax refund, and I just pay taxes. I don't get money back like people that work for a grocery store or a fucking Burger King or something like that. I don't ever get money back. I just pay taxes. I don't get taxes, you know. I didn't get any stimulus checks during COVID. I didn't get one. Not one stimulus check went in my bank account at all. There's a bunch of people that didn't get them, though. You had to meet a certain requirement to get those stimulus checks. But my taxes show that I make a certain amount of money, even though that's not a net profit. You know, taxes don't account for all the gas and everything. Your little write-off for your gas receipts is nothing. You don't get the full amount that you fucking turn in. What they do is they put all that together, and the IRS looks at all of it, and they say, okay, well, this is how much you can claim for this year. Like when you buy a tool, you have to claim the tool as depreciation. Do you understand that? Try to explain a little business to you. Like all these tools, if you buy these, you can't just claim all the tools as the price you paid for it at the end of the year. That's called tax fraud, because it has to depreciate over time, and then you owe that much back on your taxes too. Understand that? You know what I'm saying? Like if you take that much of a tax write-off, you have to prove that that equipment made you that much money. Do you understand what I mean? I don't fully understand it, but that's how it works. You know what I mean? So even if you buy a fucking shovel and the shovel costs $20, you don't say you have $20 worth of a write-off. You have to add the depreciation over time and take a little bit off of each tax year. It's weird the way it works. The IRS is not built to work for the citizens. Our government is no longer built to work for its citizens. Our government can no longer keep us safe. They don't have an answer for any of this. Have you noticed that? We haven't been given any answers for anything. I mean, we still haven't been told what happened with Trump's assassin. Nothing. We're getting no answers. We have no transparency in our government. And that's another part of the reason we're in the situation we're in right now. Because people think every side thinks the government's lying to them. See, in 2016, all of us Republicans backed the law, and then all through the Biden administration, they deemed us terrorists and violated our constitutional rights. So now we no longer back them. The ones that do back them are just bootlickers that don't understand. They don't give a fuck about you. The moment they're ordered to, they will put you in fucking those torture cuffs and they will take your freedom. Doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter what side you're on. The moment they're given the order, the Constitution be damned, they'll put you in those cuffs and they'll ruin your life. You know what I mean? So didn't used to be like that. We used to have community policing. It used to say protect and serve on the side of a law enforcement car. You know, they used to be able to, you know, it's illegal for cops. Cops are not allowed to stop and help you on the side of the road anymore because they could be sued if you get hurt while they're helping you fix your car. That's why they don't carry a Slim Jim or anything like that. Remember they used to carry Jacks and Slim Jims in their cars, and you would see a cop on the side of the road helping people change their tires and stuff? Remember those days when we actually had cops that went out and talked to the youth and got them to go out and play basketball with them and stuff like that and led them to a better future? Our country has fallen apart. We have no community anything anymore. Even after these last 3 hurricanes in Florida. In Port Charlotte, during Charlie, man, we all came together. During Andrew, we all came together. Matthew, Wilma, all of them. We all came together. We cleaned up our community. We still have 2,500 roofs with blue tarps on them 4 years fucking later. Haven't even got roofs on. We have houses catching on fire and dilapidated because everybody's bombarded our state. 7.2 million people have moved here. And the locals, 5.2 million, have fled. So we've lost all sense of community in the state of Florida. It's all a bunch of fucking people from up north. And I'm sorry, guys, but the way you were raised up there, you were horrible fucking human beings, man. Like, I've never seen the sense of entitlement. Like, y'all don't help anybody. When y'all come down here, you don't even show up at our local businesses. You don't even have the decency to switch your tags and your fucking driver's license down here so our state gets revenue off of you fucking being in our state, man. It's nuts. You don't have the decency to drive the speed limit, to use your turn signals, to do anything when you come down here. You go to our city meetings and you vote for shit to be just the way it was up there. It's crazy the way you guys work, the way you act. The way you build things is crazy too. That shit's gonna fall down in a hurricane, man. You're throwing houses up in 6 days, which isn't physically, legally possible. It's from pre-construction to final construction and inspection, from pre-construction inspection to final construction inspection. 12 to 24 months minimum, state of Florida. I just showed you the video. These illegals put this house up around the corner, literally. They broke the ground, clearing the property 8 days ago. The house is already up with electrical and a roof on it. There hasn't been one inspection, and those people are going to build that house, and they're going to get the fuck out of Florida, and they can't be held accountable for it. And now these people that had this house built don't realize that since there were no permits, let me tell you how this works. They have to tear that house down. You don't just get to go pull the fucking permits. You have to tear everything you put on off because there was no inspection, and they have to start from the property inspection again. So you have to tear that whole house down. That's why you guys keep complaining that these eyesores of these houses that they keep tearing down and putting back together. That's why they're tearing them down, because these illegals are coming down here and they're building them with no legality behind it whatsoever, and then they're just hauling ass. That's what they did after the hurricanes. Man, we got so many lawsuits in Southwest Florida right now on contractors that came down here, fucked everything up. I'll post some pictures in a little bit here of a house I'm fixing to go fix. I'm gonna post the electrical box and show you that they put that in, and that was a professional installment. I'll show you how they fixed the foundation of the house. You know what I mean? They build the property up. They don't build it up 12 feet like it's supposed to be. It's a problem. And this is not just happening here in Florida. Okay, but you do have to understand, Florida is third in the nation. You see, you hear we're the bastion. You hear we're the bastion for deportations, for freedom in Florida. Well, the courts literally just told our governor to go fuck himself the other day and ruled it unconstitutional for the law he passed about guns here, because he had constitutional carry on the ballot, is what you don't know. He refused to sign constitutional carry, and he only signed permitless carry. And then he went on live TV the other day and lied and said, no, I signed constitutional open carry. And we all know he didn't. And so the courts struck his ruling down and said it's unconstitutional. People in Florida can open carry and constitutionally carry. So just so you know, the courts did just rule that you can open carry in Florida, and the Attorney General has already pretty much said he's not going to fight it. So understand that is a thing in Florida now. That happened literally the day of and after Charlie was assassinated. So hopefully what this will do is now these administrations or these states will understand that we are at war. These people want us dead, and we must defend ourselves and fight back. So maybe the 68 million Americans right now that have had their rights taken away for stupid fucking felonies, most of which underlining charges were misdemeanors, and they intensified them to a felony the same way they did with Donald Trump. There are 68 million felons that have that type of situation. The other 20 million felons are pedophiles and fucking mass murderers. They can just stay in prison. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? But all these people out here that have lost their rights for all this really dumbass shit, while there's fucking people out here killing us left and right, they're arming criminal aliens in the cities and making them fucking cops. They're telling our sitting president that they're going to put their cops in the streets in Chicago and fight the National Guard. Bro, the leftists and the gangs are saying they're going to go to war with the National Guard. This is the actual definition of a civil war. We have two factions of the government actually fighting with militant force right now and threatening militant force against each other. And we have citizens from one faction of the aisle killing citizens from the other faction of the aisle. That's the literal definition of not a revolution. What they're doing right now was the beginning of it was a revolution. Now they've started killing politicians and fucking high-profile people. The highest profile people on our planet that make the biggest difference. You know what I mean? And they're bragging about it. And you can find posts on social media of them talking about this weeks and months before this happened. You know, this guy was organized with these people on Discord the entire time the assassination happened. He told them where his gun was. He told them he had to go back and get it. Like, he didn't fucking care. You know what I mean? These people don't care that they're murdering people. They don't think that they're breaking the law in their head. And they believe that they'll either get out or they'll be immortalized in history for the rest of their life. They're trying to be a martyr. They're not trying to be a freedom fighter. These people are trying, they know when they go do this, their life is done. They know that. So we have all these sleeper cells in our country right now that they have verified are here through the DOJ, through the CIA, through every facet of organization. They have verified that these cells are here. What do you think they've been doing with these kids this whole time? Exactly what we're seeing now. So these terrorist, Muslim, ideological fucking assholes that have infiltrated our country, these Chinese nationals that have infiltrated our country have been working with these kids this whole time, teaching them how to use a gun. They even made videos about it in 2022, remember? The kids were, the trannies were walking around with the AR-15s and shit and said, we're getting our training just like you're getting yours. They didn't get professional training. They got suicide training is what they got. They got indoctrinated and brainwashed to go out and commit suicide by cop, by taking out prominent personalities. And some of these people they're posting on Blue Sky, they don't even have more than 10, 15 followers, some of them. Some of them have 100 and something followers. They're not only coming after, they're coming after anyone that pisses them off. You know, the difference is I pay attention all day, every day to what's happening around me. You know, if I didn't, oh, look at this. What's your baby? What's your baby? Did you wake up? Oh, boom, 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 boom. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Sorry, you know that ADD squirrel. Squirrel, squirrel. Anyway, I got to get back to making these signs, guys. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to make the signs. I said my piece for the night. I love you guys. I'll do anything for you if I'm able to do it. You know what I mean? Anything I'm able to do, I'll do to help you. If it's within my power. But don't hurt people that I care about, man. You know what I mean? Don't come after my side and just try to kill us. Because, as you can see, the majority of the time, it's not working out for you guys. Because I see any day now it coming to the trans ideology being deemed a terrorist ideology. And you do understand what that means, right? You commit a crime as a trans person at all, and you get charged as a terrorist. You never see freedom. There ain't no, when you're charged as a terrorist, there ain't no bail. You don't get out of jail, bro. When you're charged as a terrorist, those constitutional rights, those go away. You understand that, right? When you're charged as a terrorist, you just get killed. You get the death penalty. And that's what they were pushing for right now. He's not going to get a court date. They're already setting up the fucking death penalty for him. He's being charged as a terrorist, bro. You don't get constitutional rights. You don't have the constitutional right to be a terrorist in America. You don't have the constitutional right to be a communist. And now you're going to find out what the law actually is, because he's going to be killed. He's not going to be able to get on the news. You know what I mean? He's not going to be out here with the Mangione effect. That ain't going to happen this time. Y'all are under this weird impression that we live in a fucking cartoon, you know, and that this guy's they're going to give him his perp walk and all this shit. No, that shit ain't happening. You know, it ain't happening. So from what I know and what I've heard from the head of the investigations, they've already got the paperwork taken care of for the death penalty. Like, they've already got the warrant they need. They've already got everything they need. All they have to do is push it through. All it has to do is be signed. And then the guy's going to get the death penalty. It's going to be, we're not waiting 15 years to give this guy the death penalty. We're going to give him the death penalty immediately. And I hope they have the firing squad in that state. And I hope they make it a public execution. Because people need to understand, this is what's going to happen when you do this kind of stuff. We need to set an example with this guy to show these people it's going to be real bad. You know, all those guillotines Obama built, let's use some of those. You remember that? Let's use some of those. We got plenty of coffins. Alex Jones exposed that back in 2008? So we got all the coffins. We got all the guillotines. That would fix our country right now. When politicians violate the Constitution, go back to when the country started, public executions. When these terrorists commit terrorist acts on American soil, go back to the original Constitution, public executions. Treason, public execution. Period. You know, invasions? No, I'm not going to go that far. I'm not that extreme. I don't want to kill illegal immigrants. I just want them to go back to their fucking countries. You know? I want them to stop coming down here and fucking turning this place into a third world country, shitting in our canals and fucking dumping massive vats of grease from their fucking food trucks in our only freshwater canals. I want that to stop. Hey, you 15 are always here for me, man. I love you guys. I know it's almost 2 hours in, but I didn't even plan on going live for more than a few minutes. But I got to get this stuff off my chest right now, man. Because it's fucking crazy out here. I got attacked 3 times today for having Charlie Kirk's name on the side of my truck. How could so many of you people be that evil? You know, how could so many of you people be so evil that makes you want to kill me? You know, that just words on my fucking truck and some flags make you want me fucking dead. That is insane, in my opinion. I don't want you dead when I see a Biden sticker. You know what I think? I think, oh, he's retarded. That's sad. You know, I don't want you dead. I don't want you to have to go anywhere. I don't want to kick you out of the country. I want to hug you and say, it's okay. You don't have to be stupid anymore. You can come over to this side. You know what I mean? And you can be happy. And you can go to the beach. And you can go fishing. And you can have barbecues and fucking shoot guns and fucking set up fireworks and have fun. You don't have to go out here and fucking chop your hair all up like a fucking weirdo and be miserable all the time. Kids, trans Tifa, Antifa, Black Lives Matters, you guys don't have to be miserable. It's not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard, man. You know, you don't have to be unhappy. You can be happy. You can love yourselves. Because when you love yourself, you love everybody else. You know what I mean? It'll be okay. If you need a tampon, we can get you one. If you need a diaper, that's cool. We won't judge you. But you don't have to be violent. You don't have to be evil. You can get out here, you can scream. But man, you get in my face and you spit, I'm going to slap you. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. And that's what we lost in America. In the 80s and 90s, we beat the fuck out of each other. You know what we did afterwards? We went to the fucking park and we skinned our knee together. You know? Now, your pussy hurts when someone says a word to you. That's hate speech. That's violence. That's physical violence. Your mouth opened. You hurt me. I'm in pain. That's crazy to me, man. That's crazy. if I had the mentality you guys have, I would have killed myself a long time ago with the shit y'all do to me. Holy fuck, man. I gotta give it to you, though. You're sneaky. You're some sneaky little bastards, bro. Because you fucked my shit up with me being around before. You're some sneaky little bastards. I give you that. But I guess when you're the size of a toothpick, you can't really see you. And you wear all black with all that shit on your face. Man, you're some sneaky little bastards, and you do come together with each other. See, I won't just talk shit. I'll give you praise where praise is due. Republicans don't come together. That's why we're in this situation. You realize if we would have got out in the cities in mass fucking numbers like they did and stopped them from doing what they did, none of this would be happening right now. We, the people, are the power of this country. The government, when they're out here doing this shit, when they're destroying our places, when they're killing our saints, when they are fucking killing us, the government doesn't come till afterwards. They say, oh, now we're going to make laws to benefit the government, not the fucking people. Okay, now we're going to military style, communist style, put military in the streets permanently because we're not going to arrest the fucking prosecutors and we're not going to arrest the cops that are violating the Constitution and not doing their jobs and hold them accountable. No, they're in a special club where they have qualified immunity and they can't get in trouble for violating the law. What we're going to do is we're going to pass a bunch of laws that go against the Constitution and go against the citizens of the United States. And then we're going to be like, hey, under the guise of fucking safety, we got to put the military in the streets because you're not safe unless we have the military in the streets. They're not here for the citizens. They're here for the illegals. Well, then why are we not even getting 14,000 fucking deportations a month right now, if that's the case? Man, I'm wearing a MAGA hat, and this is my truck. Okay, I don't live in a fucking echo chamber. I can see what's happening in America right now. You know, J.D. Vance is a horrible influence on Trump. Horrible influence on Trump. J.D. Vance is the one that went on the news and said, we need permanent military in the streets, not Donald Trump. J.D. Vance is the one that said that, and then 2 days later, the National Guard got sent into motherfucking Washington. J.D. Vance is a horrible vice president. When our president's speaking, he speaks over him. You know, that's insane. Sit the fuck back, J.D. Vance. You got no power except for what the president invests in you. You understand that, right? You have no power over the Congress unless there's a lot vote. That's the only time you have power. You're only here in case something happens to Donald Trump. And you're here to do what Donald Trump tells you to do, not make up your own agenda. We voted for Donald Trump. I'm tired of hearing J.D. Vance say we voted for him. We did not fucking vote for you. We voted for Donald Trump, and he picked you, and we made it very clear we did not want you as the vice president. There were other people we wanted as the vice president. You know? So, we never said we loved our president because he picked people well. You know? We never said that. But I love you guys. It's whatever time at night it is. We're almost 2 hours in. I haven't even eaten dinner yet, so I gotta finish these few signs up. Remember, if you haven't liked, you haven't subscribed, you haven't shared, please do so. I know I forget to ask people to do that at the beginning of the stream, but right now we need to focus on sending love. You can go to @Real Charlie Kirk on WhatsApp, Telegram, a few other places. You know, let's just do everything we can for Erica and the family right now. Let's get a hold of Turning Point USA and ask them what we could do, because nobody can be Charlie. But we are all Charlie when it comes to we have the capacity to get out here and keep his legacy going in his name. As a matter of fact, I bet we could put together scripts just based off of the things he's done. I bet there's some smart tech person out there that can put together very good articulate scripts of how to speak like Charlie Kirk. How about we get someone out there to do that? Put together some transcripts for the colleges on how to speak like Charlie Kirk. There's got to be someone out there that can do that. I love you guys. Have a blessed night. Be safe. Please keep yourself protected. Remember, the Second Amendment is the most important amendment on the planet. Wait a minute. Let me do this. In the name of Jesus, please bless everybody that's had to come in contact with me today and forgive me for what sins I have committed. Please
bless those out there and just bring understanding into the minds and bring us together, Lord, out here. And watch over us. Please watch over Erica and the kids and take care of them, Lord, and bring them guidance and understanding. I know they have more people than they can even want in their lives right now, Lord, but just watch over everybody and just bless us all, Lord. Bring food to those who need it. Bring wealth to those who need it, Lord. Give us what we need, nothing more. Amen. Okay, guys. I hope you have a very blessed evening. I hope you're safe out here. It looks like Kira is ready to go take a freaking big poo-poo. You want to go poo-poo? Okay.